guys, Preacher 357 here, out here on the range with a gun that's been something of a hot commodity here lately because it's been kind of hard to find. Hadn't seen it a lot on the market yet. And that is the H&K CC9. Their new small conceal carry option in 9mm that you know, is vying for that market that started up with the SIG P365, which is actually what I've carried for several years now. And I've tried a lot of these small guns and nothing has knocked it out of my rotation yet. The only gun that I've got besides that one that sort of fills a similar role in a semi-automatic, that is the Shield Plus that I have, and it's in 30 Super Carry actually. But I don't pocket carry the Shield, whereas I pocket carry the SIG, and that's kind of why I've got the Shield as well. If I want to wear something on my side, I'll wear the Shield. If I want to pocket carry, then I carry the SIG, and I pocket carry more often than not. So, but here is the CC9. So the question is, how is it going to stack up with all the competition? Because let's be honest, H&K is a little late to the game, you know, by years, several years. But they're a very reputable company that a lot of people love, considered a very high-end product by most people. And so they have given us this offering here, and it's not a bad looking gun. It really isn't a bad looking gun at all. And I've been shooting it, and it seems fairly enjoyable to shoot. You know, it's got this windshield here on the top, as I like to call it, you know, that blocks the wind while you're aiming. Of course, I think it's got a little dot in there you're supposed to use too, but don't really care for those things. But H&K offers them with the dot or without them already on the gun. This is a Hollow Sun actually. I don't know what model it is because I don't know anything about them. I'm sure you can look it up online if you're wondering. But this one came with the optic because I couldn't find one without. And this is the first one I saw in a store here locally in the West Tennessee area. And it had the Hollow Sun already on it, and I didn't want to pass up an opportunity to get this gun, so we're going to shoot it with the Hollow Sun on there and just see how I like it. And so far, as red dots, or this green dot actually here, as these optics go, this one's not too bad. I find it a lot easier to pick up than some of the others I've shot, and it seems to do a pretty good job. I would prefer it not be on there still, personally. But, you know, if I was going to carry a gun with an optic on it, I'd have to do a lot of practicing really to pick that up as fast as I pick up regular sights. But it's on there, so we're going to do the best we can with it. One thing I did notice is, with the Hollow Sun on there, these sights, these iron sights, do not co-witness. They are not exactly perfect to co-witness. You can sort of see where the top of the front sight is looking through there, but it's pretty much obscured. So you know, it's not the best as far as co-witnessing goes, but it can be done. It's just not the easiest. But I think I've got it sighted in fairly well. Out of the box, it was way off. I mean, way off. It was shooting way low, as in not even hitting the paper low. But I think I've got it dialed in fairly well now. Maybe well enough that I can actually shoot a little bit with it. But let's do a little bit of comparison first. I've got a couple of other guns here, and one in particular I want to show you here is the Shield Plus here. And the reason I want to show you this one in particular is because when you put the two side by side, you can see there, they are identical in length with flush fit magazines. And they're almost perfectly the same sideways, you know, from front to back, top to bottom. I mean, even the widths are practically the same. I mean, it seems pretty obvious that the Shield Plus is what H&K was aiming at when they made this gun. Because comparing it to the SIG P365, for example, which we have here, there's a definite difference. There's a definite difference in size for the same capacity. Flush fit magazine in both is 10 rounds. and the P365 is shorter, and in the grip, and it's also shorter in the slide, in the barrel. So this is a much better pocket option than the H&K, especially with the Holosun. I don't know how in the world you'd pocket carry one if you had an optic like this on it. That's just nothing but a big snag is all that is. So for the same capacity, I get this much smaller gun that's still a very good shooting gun. Is it as good a shooter as the H&K? I will test them out and see. You know, I'll shoot both of them side by side and just see. I think the H&K has a little less recoil. This one's a little snappier. And that's to be expected. Shorter barrel, you know, smaller gun. Weight-wise, just feeling them, they don't feel much difference. The shield actually feels a little bit heavier. But they're very similar, you know, in the way they shoot. But I think the H&K is a little less snappy than the P365, but we'll test that out. Now, obviously, this has the Wilson Combat grip frame on it that I put on here, which is one reason I love the P365 so much. Didn't like the original frame nearly as much as I do the Wilson Combat. And nobody yet has beat the Wilson Combat for me, but it's a little wider, you'll see, right there in the grip. It's got a swell on it. I think that really makes it much better than the factory grip that you get from SIG. But it feels really good in the hand, but you know, the H&K does as well. So we're gonna do a little bit of shooting with it and just see how we like it. And so far, I can tell you I like it pretty well. More than I thought I would with an optic on there. I'm probably not looking to actually conceal carry this gun though. Even if I took the optic off, it's probably not going to replace one of the ones I already have. Well, number one, I'm not keeping this gun. This gun is being donated to the Tennessee Firearms Association annual meeting auction for their TFA ILA. Maybe if I love it enough, one day I'll actually buy another one for myself, but who knows. We're going to do some shooting first, but before we do that, if you would check out the description, there's a link there for the TFA, Tennessee Firearms Association. We can join up and get in the fight on the state level. And there's also a link there for the GOA, the Gun Owners of America, who does a lot of work, not just on the state level, but also at the federal level, fighting for our gun rights. You get a discounted membership there if you use that link. And there's also a link there I've got for Weatherbeard Supply Products, which is beard care, which I've been using for a couple years now. I really like their products. And if you know, use my link to buy some of their products, then I can get a little bit of money back to help me buy guns and ammo for the channel. So guys, appreciate it. Check out those links. Let's go over and do a little bit of shooting. It comes with a 10-round flush fit, as well as a slightly extended magazine that holds 12. But the extended magazine is really not gigantic. It doesn't add a lot of extra length to the grip. One thing about this is with the optic here, it makes it weird to rack for me. It's like I don't know where to grab it to rack it. I'm afraid to grab up here because I'm afraid I'll mess the optic up. Maybe that's just me being paranoid. Maybe they're really strong and won't do that, hopefully. Like I said, I don't use them, so I don't really know that much about them. I'm sure there's some people out there that been using them for years and never had a single issue with them, and you can't destroy them if you wanted to, but I don't believe that, so I'm a little wary about it. Let's shoot over here at the red plates first. Let's see if I got my hold right here. All right. There we go. I'll hit these while we go. I'm not going to do it now, am I? There we go. That's the last round out of that flush fit mag. Go with the 12 rounder now, and I'll show you the 12 rounder. You can see it there. Makes it a little bit longer, gives you a little finger groove there. Not bad at all. Now, all right, we'll try this little 3-inch blade, I believe it is. We can actually get that one. I have a hard time picking up a red dot. Hard time. Apparently I'm not going to get that one. Let's just try the That's all of that one. So I mean, it's not a bad shooter. And maybe I just need to get it, sighted in maybe just a little bit better. Shoot it off a rest, because I just free-handed it and shot offhand and then made some adjustments to get it pretty close. And, it seems to be good enough for, to do some work with, but I wouldn't call it pinpoint accuracy. But then again, I don't consider myself a pinpoint accurate shooter anyway, so. Well, let me just load up a few more mags and then we'll do a little bit more shooting. All right, I've got the 2 mags loaded back up. And we're going to shoot the H&K, and then I'm going to shoot the SIG and just kind of see how they feel. I know the trigger on the HK feels better than the trigger on the SIG does to me. That's one thing I've never cared for on the SIG was the trigger, but it doesn't affect the way I shoot it. It's just something that doesn't feel good, but it's not something that bothers me when I'm shooting. I would shoot it against the Shield because they're so similar in size, but problem is, as I said earlier, my Shield is in 30 super carry, and comparing 9mm to 30 super carry like that would be like shooting a 40 against a 9 or something. You just wouldn't get a apples to apples comparison. So we're going to shoot the flush fit, because that's the SIG mag I have out here right now. It's a flush fit. We're just going to see how they feel, and I'm going to just go over here and shoot at the target at 35 and just see what I can do. Alright, not too bad. It still feels really awkward to me, shooting with an optic on a handgun. Just feels odd. But I mean, not too bad. 35 yards for a small handgun like that. Let's see if I can do anything with the SIG. Well, I started out pretty good, and then I started missing. I don't know where I was going with it either. But I get in a little bit of too big a hurry too. But it's also because I pick up the sights, iron sights, a lot quicker, just because I have no practice really with the optic, and it takes me a minute to get that dot and get it where I want it. Whereas it seems like the sights just automatically come back where they're supposed to come to. Now my trigger pull may not have been the best in the world. That may be what the problem was, but the sights were coming back down where I wanted them to be. Well, let's just do a little shooting out here at distance. Looks like it's got a loaded chamber indicator here that's like a red line right there on like above the extractor. That's a loaded chamber indicator, it looks like. Very interesting. Kind of cool looking. And just, in my experience there shooting the 2 guns, I think the SIG was a little snappier, but not as much as I thought it was going to be. And of course I've shot that gun for years, and it just feels very natural in my hands because I've shot it for so long. And my recoil control of that one may be a lot better just because of that experience with the gun. But just the same, the SIG is, a pretty good gun that nobody's knocked off my pedestal yet. So, but this H&K is not a bad gun. It ain't a bad gun at all. I need to bring it up. Probably bring it up. I heard that one. Can't tell where they're going. Oh, I heard that one too. I hit it a couple times, I think. Let's try this one at 80. I saw that. Bring it up. Out of ammo. I have to load up a little bit more. I want to try some more at that red plate. See if I can't actually put one on target there. The other day I shot that RXM out here, and I didn't do too bad on that red plate with the RXM. I struggled a little bit at 100, and that may just because I couldn't see where they were going, so I couldn't walk them in and get a better idea where to hold, but it seemed like I was doing fairly well. And I may watch that video back and realize I wasn't doing as well as I thought I was. Sometimes our memories can fool us. And when we think we're doing really well, we're really not doing as good as we think we are. I'm gonna load up 2 more magazines. And then I think I'll let you guys go. But I do like the gun. I really do. And I just brought it out here and shot it. I have not cleaned it. I didn't lube it, nothing. And some people say, oh, you shouldn't do that. Well, I fully believe that a modern polymer frame handgun like this should be able to run right out of the box. And that's the standard really that Glock has set for years and years and years. Now, I'm not saying you do that all the time, and I'm going to lube it up and clean it as soon as we get done here. I'm not going to shoot hundreds and hundreds of rounds through it. Let's go out here one more time to this one at 80 yards. There we go. Had to hold up a little high to get it, but I hit it. Let's go back over here on these red plates. I may never hit that little one, but I'm gonna try it a few more times. Just wasted ammo, I'm sure, but there we go. Well, this one's gonna look. Alright, just forget that one. I've hit it once already. There we go. Alright guys, the H&K CC9. I like the gun. I do like the gun. Am I impressed with the gun? Now there's a different question. And by impressed, do I mean that, does it seem to offer something that the other guns in this category don't? And I don't think so. And that's important because the price tag on this is slightly higher than some of the others. Now, obviously, with the optic on there, it runs at $200 plus more dollars than normal. This gun here is, with the optic, with tax and all, was close to $9. Whereas about $650 or so, I think, is what you can probably get one for, without the optic on it. But that's still, $100 plus probably more than you can, pick up a Shield Plus for. With the same size, very similar, very ergonomic, the Shield is as well. Of course, this is too. Is this worth another $100, $150 over a Shield? Probably not to me. But maybe it is to you. And, we're all different. We all like things differently. Guns feel differently to us in our hands. Some shoot better for some people than others. It's all very personal, right? We're individuals. And our hands are different. Our preferences are different. We're just different people. So, if you're looking at picking up an HK and you don't mind the extra money for the price tag on it, I think it's a good gun. I really do. We haven't had any malfunctions right out of the box, just shooting it. And that's what you expect out of a quality firearm. And I think that's what you get here. I think you're getting a quality firearm with the HK CC9. At least that's my opinion so far. And I haven't watched a single review online. None of the other reviewers that have done the CC9, I have not watched a single review. So I don't know what anybody's saying about this gun. I don't know if they're having problems. I don't know if there's been issues. I know nothing about it. All I know is what I've experienced here today. I picked this up from the gun store today. I brought it out here to the range. I've shot it. everything I know about this gun is from my personal experience. And it feels solid. It seems reliable. Seems fairly accurate, easy to shoot. You know, it doesn't beat you up with recoil. Of course, it's 9mm. You wouldn't expect it to. But being a small gun, it's very shootable. And I think you could do a whole lot worse than having this gun as a carry gun. You know, if you've got a carry permit, or you're in a constitutional carry state, or a permitless carry state, as we've got in Tennessee, you know, I think this would be a good gun for you if you're willing to shell out the money for it, which is a little more. I mean, you can find some other offerings that compete with this for a lot less money that I've been impressed with. So just take it for what it's worth. I mean, if you just love HKs and you just want to have an HK on your side, then I ain't got no problem with it. I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. So there you go, guys, the H&K CC9. Guys, appreciate you coming out. God bless you. Y'all take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.